Welcome to another story made by Oracle 1. In the shadows of the gilded halls of the Winter Palace, beneath layers of opulence and intrigue, a young tutor's discovery would unravel secrets whispered only in the quietest of moments. It was the year 1904, and the age of Tsar Nicholas II was marked by both the grandeur of empire and the simmering tensions that would soon ignite revolution. Amidst this backdrop, a quiet tale of forbidden knowledge and hidden messages began to unfold. Mikhail Petrovich Ivanov had arrived in St. Petersburg only weeks before. At 23, he was a man shaped by humble origins in a village nestled along the Volga River. His education had been painstakingly earned. Unlike many of his peers molded by aristocratic privilege, Mikhail's path to the capital was paved by relentless study and an unyielding passion for literature and languages. When the invitation arrived from the court to serve as a private tutor, he saw it as both a dream and a grave challenge. The position was to tutor Princess Olga, the youngest daughter of Tsar Nicholas II and Tsarina Alexandra Fyodorovna. Though the royal family was known for their strictness and protocol, it was whispered among the staff that the Tsarina herself was deeply involved in the education of her children, especially in the arts of language and history. There was an unspoken boundary around the imperial family's private correspondence, yet fate would draw Mikhail into their secrets. On his first day, Mikhail was led through the polished corridors of the Winter Palace by a dour footman, his steps echoing beneath towering frescoes and crystal chandeliers. He encountered the princess, a lively child of 12, full of curiosity and sharp wit. After the lessons, as was customary for tutors in the palace, Mikhail was granted a modest room and access to the vast library that held an impressive collection of books from across Europe and Russia. One evening, while organizing the princess's drawer of letters, Mikhail stumbled upon a bundle tied with a delicate ribbon. The letters bore the feminine handwriting of Tsarina Alexandra herself, addressed to someone named K. Curiosity overcame him. The letters were infused with language of passion and longing, a remarkable departure from the formal courtesies usually associated with royalty. Yet, something about the recurring phrases and seemingly random capitalized letters in the margins caught Mikhail's trained eye. Being a student of cryptography and linguistics, Mikhail recognized the signs of a cipher. The Tsarina's letters, it seemed, were more than mere declarations of love, they contained a hidden message. Night after night, after the household lay silent under the heavy drapes of winter, Mikhail painstakingly transcribed the letters by candlelight, cross-referencing the peculiar marks and structures. A pattern emerged, a substitution cipher, cleverly disguised within the intimate musings of a royal consort. The letters were addressed to K, a name that had haunted the edges of court gossip. Speculation pointed toward Prince Kirill Vladimirovich, a controversial figure in the imperial family's inner circles, known for his political maneuvering and questionable loyalty. Could these letters be more than romantic tokens? Was there a clandestine alliance, potentially treasonous in nature? The deeper Mikhail delved, the more he realized the gravity of his discovery. The Tsarina, a woman often portrayed as pious and devoted to her family and faith, appeared to be engaged in secret communications that hinted at political conspiracies. The encoded passages revealed references to political unrest, cryptic mentions of meeting places, and plans shrouded in metaphorical language that only the initiated could understand. Mikhail's mind raced. To whom could he turn? He was a mere tutor, a nobody within the imperial hierarchy, yet he held a knowledge that might lead to the downfall of the most powerful family in Russia. He contemplated confiding in the trusted court historian, someone reputed for loyalty to the crown and integrity. However, paranoia was a disease within the palace walls, and Mikhail understood that any misstep could bring ruin upon him. One evening, as a snowstorm cloaked the city in silence, Mikhail resolved to confront the Tsarina herself. He requested an audience, invoking his duty to the empire and the solemn obligation to protect its sanctity. After a day of anxious waiting, a sealed summons arrived. The corridors seemed colder, and the very air thick with anticipation. In the gilded drawing room, amidst ornate furnishings and shimmering tapestries, stood Tsarina Alexandra. Her eyes, a piercing gray, seemed to measure Mikhail's soul. The room was suffused with the faint scent of lilacs and the distant hum of the Neva River slipping through the open window. She spoke softly, yet with undeniable authority. "You have discovered what was not meant for your eyes," she said, motioning to the letters in Mikhail's trembling hands. Mikhail bowed deeply. "Your Majesty, I meant no disrespect. I was compelled by the nature of the cipher and the weight of its content." Alexandra's expression softened, a flicker of vulnerability crossing her features. "Our family stands upon a precipice. The code you discovered was to shield us from those who would seek to destroy us, from within and without." She gestured for Mikhail to be seated. "You must understand that these are not mere love letters. They carry messages vital to the survival of Russia and the imperial house. Prince Kirill and I have long navigated a treacherous path, seeking alliances to stave off the revolutionary winds." As the Tsarina spoke, Mikhail felt the walls of his understanding crumble. The romance was a facade, a veil for covert diplomacy. The letters coded secret plans, warnings of insurrection, and appeals for assistance from loyalist factions. Over the following weeks, Alexandra entrusted Mikhail with learning the full breadth of her cipher system and assisting in its transmission. The young tutor found himself enmeshed in a dangerous game, balancing loyalty to the crown, his own conscience, and the storm gathering over Russia. Mikhail's role expanded quietly. He became the Tsarina's confidant in cryptography, facilitating coded correspondences to generals and diplomats who still believed in the monarchy's survival. Each message was a thread woven into the fragile fabric of hope that the Romanov dynasty might weather the gathering tempest. Yet, in the depths of his soul, Mikhail wrestled with the implications. Was he aiding a regime that would fall beneath the weight of its own decay? Or was his loyalty to a vision of Russia that transcended the failures of its rulers? One bitter winter night, under the oppressive gray skies that seemed to darken the heart of the nation, Mikhail received a clandestine message. The cipher spoke of betrayal, naming a trusted official within the palace who acted as a double agent for the revolutionaries. The revelation was staggering. The rot had seeped into the very foundations of the imperial household. Mikhail conveyed this information to the Tsarina, whose composed demeanor belied a surge of fear. Plans were enacted to purge the traitors, but the wheels of change had already been set. The government's grasp faltered, and whispers of rebellion grew louder. As the year drew to a close, and the tumult of 1905 approached, Mikhail understood his path was irrevocably entwined with the fate of the empire. His days as a mere tutor were gone. He was now a keeper of secrets that could alter history. The story of Catherine's cipher, as some would later call the hidden code within the Tsarina's letters, was a testament to the complex interplay of love, loyalty, and deception in a world on the brink of upheaval. Through Mikhail's eyes, the grandeur of the imperial court revealed itself as both sanctuary and prison, a place where the measured stroke of a pen could spell salvation or doom. In the years that followed, as the Romanovs faced their tragic end and the tides of revolution swept away the old order, the cipher remained a silent guardian of their hidden struggles, a coded cry from a fallen dynasty to a future waiting to be born. For more stories, like and subscribe.